I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of 1 Kings, chapter 21. Let's focus on verses 7 through 10. Then speaking of Ahab's wife Jezebel, said to him, "Now exercise your royal power over Israel. Get up, eat some food, and be happy. For I will give you the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite." And so she wrote a letter in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal. And she sent the letters to the elders and the nobles who lived with Naboth in his city. In the letters she wrote, "Proclaim a fast and seat Naboth at the head of the table. And then seat 2 wicked men opposite him, saying, 'You have cursed God and king.' And then take him out and stone him to death." God's people should expect to suffer injustice in this world. I'm not advocating that we be doormats and let people just run all over us, but we'll be wise to anticipate injustice and be prepared to defend ourselves against its onset. Today's passage is a true picture of what awaits God's people who seek His Word and those who live accordingly, even within the church culture. It is as if the writer is saying, now this is the sort of treatment that believers can expect from rulers of this world. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 12 says this, "Dear friends, when the fiery ordeal arises among you to test you, don't be surprised by it, as if something unusual were happening to you." It's difficult for us believers in Jesus and living in a Western culture to grasp suffering, because we're constantly pummeled with church propaganda which tells us to expect the opposite. For instance, one televangelist has written, "God promises to heal all of our diseases, and that means not even a headache, not a sinus problem, not even a toothache, nothing. No sickness should come your way." Another one exhorts his followers to live their best lives now. And that best life is then described as being a life of worldly comfort, free from negativity. If God yearns to pamper us with perfect health, then why does a loaded court condemn His servant and then stone him to death outside of Jezreel? And I'm not advocating you be pessimistic, but let's look at life realistically and biblically. The Bible's portrayal of a believer's lot in this world is so refreshing, precisely because of its sober realism. It is realism that is missing from much of Christian telecasting and pulpiteering these days. The suffering of the cross and the exhortation to us that we take up our crosses and carry them, as He commands us, is too often deleted from preaching. Yes, there will be injustice on the earth, but we serve the judge of all judges. So while we may suffer earthly injustice, even to the death, we don't live for our best lives now. We live for our best lives later in heaven, where God's justice will prevail. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And if you're being ministered to through the daily teaching of Groundworks Ministries, and you'd like to help us lead God's people back to the Bible, would you consider donating to Groundworks Ministries today? We need your support now more than ever. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, so check us out. There's a lot of other great resources there as well. groundworksministries.com.